Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the Design Startup Show, and I'm Marilyn Wo, and just appreciate you for joining me here. This is the very first episode, so I would just like to give you kind of a rundown and maybe a summary of what you will expect in the coming shows. Basically, I have been through a lot of struggles and experienced like about 10 years of freelancing and challenges and getting out of my comfort zone for so long, and I hope to just share with you what I've been through, how I overcome all of them, and also the work that I'm going through right now. So it's a lot of past experiences and work in public at the present moment. So I hope this is a good takeaway for you to also kind of use whatever that I share with you to apply to your own graphic design businesses. So I just want you to also have success in your business rather than struggling all the time with with the passion that you have in graphic design, because I have been there before as well. So as a graphic design freelancer, I've I was just enjoying my time, for those 10 years since 2005. But I met a roadblock, a very big one, when I had my first child, and that was in 2013. And the roadblock was there because I had to care for my baby and I had to care for my clients as well. So before that, there wasn't that much of an issue with freedom, right? Because I was a solo freelancer, so I can just choose to react to my clients' work. That's what I used to do, and I can be there for them. I can take care of them 24/7 as long as I want. But I did not have the mindset that I was not creating my own asset. I was basically just helping my clients 24/7. So I was just doing things that build other people's assets rather than my own. So I didn't kind of reserve time for that. So only when I had my first baby, then I realized that I have been missing out on building my own asset that I can grow with and eventually be financially independent. So this podcast is mainly to share with you these lessons learned to be able to help you to also build your own business asset so that eventually you can become a business owner or an entrepreneur where you don't really have to trade time for money. So we all definitely trade hours for dollars, even entrepreneurs in some sense. But are you trading the hours for yourself? Or are you trading all the hours for your clients? So that was what I was doing when I was a freelancer. And I didn't know that. I couldn't go for a holiday without not getting income. Means if I go for a holiday, there is no money coming in. If I stop working, there's no money coming in. But now I am building something. I'm building a business where even if I go for a holiday, the work is going on its own with people I've hired, with automation, with tech, that I've built up. So this is something that you can learn from this podcast as well. At the same time, I'm also going to talk about building wealth because, as a graphic designer, it doesn't mean you have to ignore wealth and money. This is part of life, and this is part of having options to enjoy life. And this is what I will also touch on. Well, eventually, for me, my goal is to be financially independent. I'm now the age of 40, and I would like to, be able to be debt free in 5 years' time. And in 10 years' time, I will have a residual income that can support my life, support my family's life, and also support my children's education so that they will be debt free by the time they graduate rather than having to pay the bank all the time, even after they have graduated, right? So this podcast is also to share with you how I'm going to do that. And it's not all based on my graphic design business, but my graphic design business will also contribute in terms of the profits that come from there. The next thing is, I've also been struggling with acquiring clients, keeping customers, keeping clients. So if these are the things that you're also struggling with, this podcast should help you, because I have overcome that, and I'm also putting in the work to create new ways and coming up with new methods to help with sales systems, marketing systems, as well as the internal operation processes to kind of maintain our customer base. And this is what you will learn from this podcast as well. So all these will be pretty much in a way solo messages from me. But if I were to have any industry experts coming in, you will also hear interviews from us. So there are many things that you will learn from here, and I hope that this is something that can help you in your business. You know, if you're a freelancer, hopefully this will help you transit to a business owner, because, you know, as a freelancer, there's nothing wrong. I mean, it's great to be a freelancer as well. I mean, there are also good things about it. But because I have kind of transformed from there, I would like to share the good things that came out from there, right? So I hope this is something that you will also learn. And the last thing is on how I transformed, right? How I transited, because the transition doesn't just come about like that. There were a lot of struggles in between. Like, how did I kind of sell my services in a way where it's just a few steps, or even just one step, rather than so many steps with proposals and with the back and forth and people not paying my invoices, creating invoices, too many steps. So what I did was I productized my service. And if you have heard of this term, or if you have not, productized is pretty much packaging your services so that your services are being sold like products. So if you know SaaS, which is SaaS, software as a service, what I did to my design service was to make it like a design as a service, or service as a service, right? It's sort of like you can call it a box of premix that you see in the supermarket. So rather than selling somebody that you are going to bake a cake for the person, you actually put in all the ingredients and the recipe in one box, and you sell that person that box. So you don't really have to be there to make that cake, but you either hire people or you make machines where these machines will pack up all these boxes of premix that is based on your instructions, based on your recipe and ingredients, and they will all be packed together, and you don't even have to be there, right? All these will be sold by supermarkets. So you do the distribution and you create that operation system and get your secret out there, or your good stuff out there, right? So this is basically what I have done to my service, and I will also run through that with you in detail over the course of this podcast. And so for work in progress and work in public, I will just post this up, and you will just hear all the episodes with me solo, just like this. So it's very, very quick. It can be very quick, 5 minutes or up to 15 minutes of me sharing what I have learned for the day, or it could be just some time, or 15 minutes or to 30 minutes of what I have learned before. So this is what you expect from me. So if this is what you did, you should just subscribe. All right, subscribe, listen to it, and give a positive review as and when you can. And I truly appreciate that from you, and I hope all success to you, that you will become financially independent as well one day, and we can all grow together. Thank you, and see you in the next episode. Bye.